if you don't listen to me, my lord. If money was brought from Central Bank because of the death of Abiola, we need to know why the money was brought. Late Chief MKO Abiola is the main petition that brought us here. If I'm to speak the truth, then somebody has taken so much money that has created much more human rights violations in the name of the death of Abiola. In the name of one human rights violation, we yet created much more. Then we need to know, my lord, how many people died as a result of this money? This money was taken somewhere. While late Chief MKO Abiola's body was there, and allegations were made. I was tortured because of the death of Abiola at the instance of General Abdulsalam Abubakar. I knew nothing. I protected this man. I gave my life for him. General Abdulsalam Abubakar refused it. So, my lord, you need to hear from me. Where is the money? Who was paid with this money? I saw one bodyguard when I was coming in. He was one of those who escorted some of this money. He was brought.
With,
so, my lord, allow me to lay the foundation because the commission will not know.
Major.
But I'm coming, my lord, my lord. I am not. I said there is no adversity. You ask for facts. I'm giving you facts in the spirit of national reconciliation. Listen to me, my lord. I have forgiven General Abdulsalam Abubakar. Let this nation forgive him. Let's speak and forget the past. That's all I want. My lord, what I'm saying is very serious.
You are being recorded, so don't look at me. It's over there. You
No,
know.
my lord.
My lord, my lord.
We're recording everything you are saying. Go on.
Thank you, my lord. Now, on the 8th of June, 1998, the very day that General Sani Abacha died, so much had happened. And I'm actually only going to handpick the areas that affect late Chief MKO Abiola here, so that I can save the time of the commission. I have prepared some lengthy notes to remind General Abdulsalam Abubakar on the issues that happened on that day. But the ones that affect the petition at hand is the ones I'm going to handpick, my lord. Now, to be able to save the time of this commission, on that day, to those who said they were summoned to the villa by other people, they are making a mistake. I was the one who initiated summoning everybody to the villa, and I told General Abdulsalam Abubakar, and I reduced it to writing, and I gave it to him. If people have different interpretation to that, let them give that misinterpretation. I have no business with that. As far as I'm concerned, there was no crisis, there was no war. The shortest transition in this country that was peaceful, but with a lot of intrigues that we saw, and God help me to have managed. I don't think that is an offense. Nobody was shot. But if I have not done what I did, I know this even transition wouldn't have been the same. So for that, my lord, all I'm trying to say, even though I'm sidelined in the scheme of things today, to say that upon those shoulders that democracy is resting upon today in Nigeria, maybe lies my little shoulder somewhere. But we do not know, unless you hear the following facts, my lord. Now, soon after I summoned all the PRC members into the villa, but let me correct it, it's not summoning, it's invitation in the name of the late CNC. That's the way I put it to all of them, and with respect, as if it was a meeting they were all coming to attend to. Because the calls were many, I now call on the ADC to the late CNC to help me in making more calls himself. Aircrafts were sent, I initiated it. Vehicles were sent to the airport to bring them. I initiated all that. At the end of the day, all PRC members were there. But before they arrived, the elders that were there in Abuja were first of all summoned in the name of the late CNC. But nobody was told what happened. I only told them to come, that the late CNC wanted to see them separately. And none of them were told that other people were also called at the same time. They only came and met themselves there. Of relevance here is, when the PRC members first came, some that were in Abuja, we directed them into the house. And to those, I know, either from personal ambition or from advices may have the rift. Here I'm talking about members of the Defense Council, National Security and Defense Council. I directed them to the office of the late CNC, and I said he was in the office calling them. And this I did with the consent of some of the elders, who later on denied and saw the new leadership and then construed that thing so that they can have a face for them to remain on board the government of Abu Salam. I accepted. There they were in the office. Now, after some time, it was decided within the house, the former Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Komasi, and I should go and call in the CDS then, Abdul Salam Abu Bakr, and the then Chief of Army Staff, then Major General Isha Ibamayi, from the office into the residence. They came, they met these elders, among whom were directors of various security agencies. Even the Chief Justice of the Federation was there, among those I called. Justice Nasir was there, and many more. General Abdul Salam Abu Bakr and General Bamayi sat at a chair left, which used to be called the official visiting chair. There were 3 official chairs to the Commander-in-Chief of the moment. Now the information was announced to the 2 of them. General Abdul Salam Abu Bakr stood from that chair and pretended to be crying. In a matter of seconds, he left that chair and sat at the official chair of the Commander-in-Chief. My Lord, nobody was sworn in. If I were to do my own duty, I had the powers to say, even where vacuum came, in the absence of any decision by the ruling council, whosoever attempt to take over a government should be seen to face the bullet. If I were an enemy to General Abdul Salam Abu Bakr, I was empowered by law and by constitution to shoot him right on that chair, which was the exhibit. With all these people as witnesses, I never did.
All right. Police, clear all these people out.
Police agent, police, please. Take note.
And you said you are giving us events. It's only one you've given us, that you summoned the PRC members.
Police, take note.
For about 10 minutes, only one event. Summoning the PRC members.
My Lord,
I'm looking for another event.
we took decisions were taken on late Chief MKO Abiola here. And unless I lay the foundation, you won't understand, my Lord. Now, the PRC members moved to the office to have a meeting. But prior to this, there were a lot of meetings and a lot of personal contacts within PRC members. And a very important note here, my Lord, is the discussions I had with late General Ibrahim Gumel. With General Ibrahim Gumel, we discussed the release of Abiola and the release of 1995 coup piece from detention. Now, there was a vacuum. PRC members went to have some discussions, but General Abdul Salam Abu Bakr came and had discussions with General Gumel based on the agreements we had with him. Inside the council, they met with 2 problems. One, to deliberate and fill the vacuum that was created as a result of the death of General Sani Abacha, or to go in line with Islamic rights, to go for immediate burial first. At the end of the day, they agreed to go for the burial. We were left behind for obvious reasons. Many things took place that day. But let me say with all respect, the essence of having everybody intact that I initiated was merely to fill in the vacuum in peace so that there won't be any bloodshed. It is true in the process, late Chief MKO Abiola was moved to the barracks. It is also true that I initiated and removed General Dia from Jos, initially to Kano, but later, initially to Abuja, but later, while the aircraft was around Abuja, I directed it to go to Kano. And I told the Director General SSS and the Governor and the Military Administrator of Kano, who took charge of all the coup convicts, the key ones, 11 of them, of 1997 coup. All I want, like I said, is peace. Now, when they returned from Kano, from the burial, General Gumel again came and we discussed at length. And we were saddled with 3 problems because campaign, even at the time the burial was being arranged, there were a lot of campaigns as to whether it was the inner caucus that brought the government to power.
This return was on the same 8th? The return from Kano?
From Kano? No, it's 9th.
So it's no longer events of the 8th?
It's no longer events of the 8th because
9th.
it's the early hours of around 1, 2 when they came back in the morning. I stand to be corrected. My Lord, when they returned, there were 3 issues. The issue of either having the most senior member of the inner caucus to take over, or adopt seniority, or hierarchy. Here, I must say, and boldly too, that a lot of decisions were taken. And I know most of the tribals and the issues that have been had today are simply because a decision was tilted towards hierarchy as against the most senior in the inner caucus or the most senior person in the PRC. Now let me say these 3. In terms of hierarchy, it was the CDS that was considered senior. In terms of inner caucus, the most senior professionally then was General Ishaya Bamei. And in terms of seniority, within the PRC was Lieutenant General Jeremiah Hussein. Here lies the problem. We did a lot of discussions with so many senior officers, so many. But in the spirit of reconciliation, I will say the ones that will not scratch and create more wounds to national reconciliation. But I will say the one that will direct you to the facts that affects the death of late Chief M.K. Abiola. Now, it was agreed with so many members that General Abdulsalam Abubakar should go because hierarchy should be adopted to set a precedence. But it is worthy of note that General Abdulsalam Abubakar was not a member of the inner caucus. He had nothing to do with the main body that brought the government to being or its sustenance. He was also not the most senior. He may have his grudges, and I will say them later. General Hussein was the most senior. He was not accepted for many reasons. He may also have his grudges against me today. I know, but I refuse it. And let me say for the first time here, that soon after I found General Abacha dead, I now ask, the last person that was with him was General Hussein, who left 20 minutes after he died. I now said, and I didn't mix words, and I want to repeat it here, in the spirit of reconciliation, whatever I did it in the spirit of finding facts and with the duties resposed in my hand, that General Hussein, as at then, was a suspect. So he cannot think of ruling Nigeria. It was my thought at that time, even though the most senior, but the most junior, but initiating the need for him to be immediately investigated over the issue. So we were saddled with hierarchy and then the most senior in the inner caucus. If he is in any way annoyed, I have done what I should.
There's
now,
a link. If you can redefine the link so that we can write it down. Where is the link?
I'm going, my Lord. Now,
Still waiting for the link.
yes, my Lord. Now, decisions were almost reached because it was a campaign-like. Then I now mentioned to General Ishaya Bamai, to General Magashi, General Sabo, the Brigade of Gas Commander, General Maazu, Colonel Abdullah, and myself, to call on General Abdulsalam Abubakar to sit him down and tell him our expectations and decisions at that time. We sat him down. On my way, my Lord, worthy of note is a witness, the Chief Justice of the Federation. He was holding the oath of office, the contents in his hands. And I asked him, I said, my Lord, I will wish to have that oath in my hands. And when we finish, you will be told who to swear in as the next president, as the next head of state of Nigeria. We had discussions with General Abdulsalam Abubakar. Ahigbe came. It is of importance, my Lord. Admiral Ahigbe came in while our meeting with him was on. Admiral Ahigbe was told to go back. After the meeting, it was agreed and decided that at the council, hierarchy was to be adopted, and General Islam Abubakar was to take over the mantle of leadership to complete the transition to civil rule. Now Admiral Ahigbe was told to go, and it was decided that Admiral Ahigbe was not in any way to take over as the CGS to General Abdul Salam in that government. And reasons were enumerated, which I will say later, as it relates to even late Chief MK Abiola himself. They went in, and the process of seniority or hierarchy was conducted just as a formality. But General Bamayi stood up at the end and said it was unanimous, and then General Islam Abubakar was sworn in. Now, did we discuss in these skirmishes of the 8th and the early part of the 9th whether late Chief MK Abiola should be released and immediately to reconcile? One key missing link is here, my lord. One person, General Gumel. General Gumel died. Nobody is raising eyebrows. General Gumel was to be taken on board the government of General Abdul Salam Abubakar, but he was vehement on the release of Abiola and the release of the coupists to reconcile. These were not done. Chief MK Abiola was not released. But of interest, my lord, very vital. This is somebody who insists Abiola should be released and immediately too, so that the wounds of the past should be seen to continue to heal from that moment. This same man died mysteriously. He was not taken in the government. He was retired. He died bleeding. He was bleeding from Abuja to his grave in Gumel. Nobody wants to find out why. And within 30 months, 30 days later, which was against the rules, the same General Islam Abubakar now began to frequent the house of the younger wife of this same late general who fought for the release of Chief MK Abiola. Nobody wants to know. Nobody wants to ask.
My lord, I must object to this line of evidence.
Look, he's forgetting that we have a tape recording of his evidence.
My lord,
All these things you've said them before.
No, my lord,
I have them in transcript and in tape.
I've
said them more than 5 times.
I didn't say this
when
aspect
you told
before.
us about MKO, Mina, Kano, Ogun, and so forth.
Yeah.
We have all of them.
My lord,
You want to go on?
my lord, in Lagos, I gave you analysis of governments as it relates to
Major, excuse me. My lord, that was
Also,
why
the similarity
we
between
objected
the
to
two
it being
dates.
recalled.
I just want to see the link between what you just said and the date of Abiola. You're giving me 3 or 4.
my lord. When the president was
Excuse
constituting
me, Major Mustafa, I'm standing. My lord, that's why we objected to it being recalled, because we will just go round and round. At the end of the day, we will achieve nothing. If he has nothing new to add to the evidence, then let him step aside, my lord.
My lord, I wish to respond.
If counsel will help us, if you have summarized 1, 2, 3, 4, all this long elaboration, it will help us.
We are prepared
First
to do
of
that.
all, he said events of June 1998. One, he summoned all members. They came. They held discussion. Then some people went to Kano for burial. On the night they came back. They said they discussed succession. Where do we go from there to connect Abiola's death? That's what I'm interested in.
Yes, my lord. We are prepared to do that. But may I seek the indulgence of the commission? I am equally in a haste. In fact, I never thought we would take this long. But to be honest with you, my lord, I'm very, very sorry to state this fact. But for the purpose of reconciliation, the commission needs to know that the military is a different society altogether from Nigerians. And with the greatest respect, my lord, I'm very sorry to say, I don't know of the military today.
There is a link, and you know. Let us know
Yes,
the link.
yeah, the link will. Somebody will be throwing stones there, somebody will be pouring water there, and in the end, it will come to something. But you will not understand. What we are trying to say is to lay the foundation in such a way that my lord will understand what is going on. With the greatest respect, my lord, I don't know what the military is today, but I do know that, with the greatest respect to them, they consist of most people who are intellectually hollow, but criminally intelligent, my lord. So it is important we follow this, and that is why I undertook that thing. In all honesty, I never thought we would last this long. But we'll continue, my lord. Let's those aspects that,
We have got
let's go straight to the
enough
link.
circumstantial evidence on which you can address us.
Yes,
to
my lord.
accept one theory.
Yes, my lord.
We have got enough circumstantial evidence on which you as counsel can address us, accept this version as how Abiola died.
Yes.
If
So-
this is opinion, we may or may not accept his opinion.
Exactly, yes.
Yes.
Shall we? In fact, that is why I said, let's go direct to those exhibits that will provide at least the link that we are talking about. Don't worry. Just do the best you can for the purpose of at least stating.
My Lord, the spirit with which I came here is in line with the guidelines by Mr. President when constituting this body. He said to you, my Lord, go in search of the truth and reconcile this country so that the wounds of the past shall be healed. That's the spirit I came here. That's why I opened my heart to speak. But if we are not prepared to hear the truth, maybe I'm speaking at the wrong time, on wrong issues, probably. But my Lord, all I want to say is the ones I am involved upon. These are the ones I know. If I had not had discussions with General Kumal, I wouldn't. I'm on oath. We should have the large heart to forget and forgive, my Lord. That's why we are just saying the facts.
Let's save the time of the commission. Just, yes, go straight. Well, you are talking about discussions with others, but the most important thing is that we have tendered 2 or 3 exhibits now. And the commission is interested in knowing what is the next link to the issue, which is the fact and issue, the death of Chief General Abiola, which they are presiding over today. So shall we now restrict our testimony to that, please, Major Mustafa?
Are we to forgo everything and go straight to his death?
Yes.
All right. On the day late Chief MK Abiola died, I was here in Abuja and in the villa conducting some assignments for General Abdulsalam Abubakar with the issues to handing and taking over equipment, vehicles, and the entire house itself. In a nutshell, I was preparing the villa for his own occupation from defense. I was not told that there were guests that were coming to visit him. I was not informed at all. But of importance was that 3 days before he died, on the 4th of July, 1998, the DGSSS was sent to collect all my passports by General Abdulsalam Abubakar, and he did, on condition that I finish all the handing and taking over in the house. When I finished, I retired. It was while I was resting, I was called and told that late Chief MK Abiola fell in the house and was rushed to hospital. In trying to find out the details to him, some other bodyguard came and told me that it was certified that late Chief MK Abiola had died in the hospital. But I insist Zadok be called to testify. My insistence then was to the fact that I was kept away from it. But when General Abdulsalam Abubakar was taking over the leadership, he asked me on late Chief MK Abiola's upkeep, feeding and modalities, even when visitors come to him. And one of the things that was expected to be done, that we were doing from day one, that I told him, that I signed documents and handed over to him 2 days after the death of General Abacha, it was never observed at the death of late Chief MK Abiola. Nobody bothered to videotape it. Nobody bothered to audiotape it. There were no witnesses to confirm this. All other visits by anybody, they were all videotaped and audiotaped. And there were even transcripts of discussions with people for his safety. These things are with the government, they are in SSS and they are in NIA. I was not told this visit came and this man died. Why I'm raising this suspicion, my Lord, are enormous. If Chief MK Abiola was to be released as agreed for General, one of the conditions agreed for General Abdulsalam Abubakar to now take over this country, why was he kept then? And Abiola refused to die anywhere other than that day when he came on visit. Again,
the council, anything more?
My Lord, I know the witness. I know the witness will be in difficulty because of how he intended to relate the events that led to the death, and with the time frame of the commission, which I'm aware of, he will definitely be in problem. But let me quickly round up the questioning so that we can read somewhere. Look, do you know one General MC Ali?
Yes, my lord.
Has he had any occasion to equally express the same opinion that you are talking about?
He did, my lord, in his book.
That is the Federal Republic of Nigerian Army.
Correct, my lord.
The siege on the nation. What was his description of the death of Abiola in that book? And at what page?
At page 257. However,
This is an exhibit.
yes, my lord, he has the
Exhibit
book.
what?
My lord, what I intend to do is I've asked them to photo because
If
we are,
it's not tendered, you tender it first before he reads. That's what I'm saying.
no, my lord, I was relying on the commission or that if we have documents to submit, we can submit in the
No, what he's
commission.
going to read, is it in exhibit?
Yes, the copy we have has stamp of somebody that will not want to disclose his name, so we are trying to
It's
remove
not an
the.
exhibit, my lord. It's an
It is
exhibit
not
in
yet
the Ohaneze
exhibited. The
case.
first thing is to exhibit
Oh,
it.
it's an
First,
exhibit in the Ohaneze case.
If you,
They said it has been tendered here.
no,
I'm not aware.
Let's tender it in this case or in another case.
In another case.
No,
What
let's
is-
have it here. It will
But
be
it should be
cleaner.
relevant. Well, let him just quote it. I
Have
will
you
supply.
got a copy? If you have a copy, tender it.
My lord, I
Instead
don't
of
have.
going to read and Haneze's
I don't have the copy here.
What you ask him to read? Where is he reading from?
We quoted the book based on the copy we have. Yes. You have the book. The book is in circulation, but we couldn't get copy because of its and I said I will supply the commission a copy. Yes. So what was he saying?
He said, and I quote, my lord, however, it is a stigmatizing blur that he continued to castrate MKO Abiola until he died in a questionable and inexplicable delay of action on the part of his administration. He's referring to General Abdulsalam Abubakar.
So I will be correct to say that you are not the only person believing along this way.
Correct, my lord.
Okay. Now, do you remember coming into contact with any letter dated the 24th day of August 2001?
If I see, my lord.
Show him this letter.
Yes, I do, my lord.
Okay. My lord, we seek to tender the letter in evidence
68, is it?
as the commission pleases. Will you want to briefly state the contents of that letter? Just as it affects this case. Is it an exhibit, my lord? Has it been admitted? We are still waiting for. Yes. So, will you want to read exhibit? Exhibit 68? 68.
68.
Yes. My lord, exhibit 68 is a letter dated the 24th day of August 2001 under the hand of one Major General A. Mohammed retired, CFR GCON, Chief of Staff to the President, Commander-in-Chief.
I read, my lord. Giving evidence before Human Rights Violations Commission by relevant government officials, I write to inform you that sequel to the invitation of the former head of state, General Abdulsalam Abubakar, retired, to appear before Human Rights Violations Investigation Commission to respond to various allegations made against him by witnesses at the commission, he has formally sought for the assistance of some relevant government officials to present facts and documents before the commission. These include officials from the ministries of Defense, Finance, Transport, Defense Headquarters, the Armed Forces, Central Bank of Nigeria, and the National Maritime Authority. Having given due consideration to the request, His Excellency the President Commander-in-Chief has directed that maximum cooperation be exercised to General Abubakar's lawyers. Accordingly, I forward herewith Annex A to General Abubakar's letter, reference AAA/7/conference/OPN of 24th of August, the year 2001, indicating the various allegations concerning each of the relevant ministries and government agencies for your compliance and further necessary actions, please. Signed, General Mohammed.
Now, right from Lagos, you have requested that your bags in which will assist you to give evidence in respect of Abiola's case be released. Have those bags been released to you?
Not at all, my lord.
Okay. But somebody is being asked to be given maximum cooperation to come and present facts here.
Correct, my lord.
My lord, we rest our case on these two evidence.
Counsel, you asked for the bags. We did ask for the bags.
Yes, my lord.
And what they reply?
Connectors, I came here and gave evidence.
And gave evidence.
Yes, yes, my lord. We did, openly.
All right then. Thank you very much.
That's all for him, my lord.
Thank you.
You?
Do you want to cross-examine? What for? Is anybody cross-examining? They don't want to cross-examine, so thank you very much. There's no re-examination, there's no cross-examination.
No re-examination, my
Thank
lord.
you. You are discharged. Is this what we can discuss here or in chambers?
No,
Your
here, my
problem.
lord. It's very
What is
simple.
the problem?
There is a petition here, one of the first petitions you attended to. In it, there were a lot of allegations against me with respect to Olubenga Obasanjo,
Which petition?
the son of the president's petition. It was alleged that I arrested Mr. President during 1995 coup.
Don't worry about that.
No, my lord, there is so much you must know. Very
We're
important.
talking here about the petition of
No, my lord, you said I have
Abiola.
finished. My lord, coup 95.
Can you take charge?
No, we are in charge. That's okay,
If
my
it's
lord.
necessary, we record it, but let's finish with Abiola's case.
No problem, my lord. Can I tender from the bar the
What? In Abiola's case?
Yes, the video recording of his burial, my lord. Maybe the commission may be assisted. This is just my own contribution, my lord.
But we said no more examination, no cross-examination, no
No
re-examination.
cross-examination, yes, my lord. In fact, it's just for the commission. You can watch. It doesn't need to be there, but it may assist you.
All right. Make it exhibit 69. All right, we have taken the video. Yes, any other witness? Is that the case?
No, my lord, not quite. Your lordship, we are applying that the army should send for the officer who is on a court in the United States. So how
Are
do
we waiting for him, or do we? He's in the United States.
Yes, my lord.
It's coming next year.
Well, in that case, my lord, we applied to close the case.
If you can send, make him come, we will. Can you make him come back?
My lord, no, but the army can bring him back, my lord. They've sent him abroad.
If you know you can make him come back. Apart from him, there's no other witness.
No, only General Abubakar, my lord. General Abdulsalami Abubakar.
The prospect of getting him is very, very slim. Why not?
Well, my lord, Colonel Muki, maybe you can assist the commission.
No, I thought I saw Colonel. Who was the Colonel? Yes. Colonel. You know, Aliu is a vital witness in this case. Honestly, I think you will have to do something. I mean, I can't see how it is impossible to bring him. I mean, you should be able to facilitate bringing him in. You know? Yes. Yes. He is a vital witness. He will clear a lot of things. Yes. You know? Exactly. So talk to the powers that be in the defense. Can arrange for him to come. No answer. What do you say?
This is Nigeria. Well, the thinking of the panel is another should be made that he be flown back to give evidence. Prepare the order, then we sign it. What is the name of the witness?
Colonel Major A.M. Aliyu, my lord.
They wrote a letter.
Yes, my lord.
In response to that letter, then prepare an order that he should be brought back. He's a very vital witness
Yes, my
in
lord.
Abiola's case,
Yes, my lord.
and see their reaction.
Yes, my lord.
For the return. Let me see the letter they wrote.
My lord.
The letter. Well, you have to send to the the headquarters that he should be sent back to testify. He's a very vital witness. If possible, attach the evidence of the man who was there, who was his, who looked after him before they sent him away. Yes. Because if that allegation is not answered, a very bad impression on the army. So to save their name, they should send him back to let us know what actually happened. Give them 2 weeks within which to send him back. And if that is so, the case is adjourned.
Well, my lord, in view of, we don't know how things are in the U.S. now, maybe about 3 weeks.
Because of this, the case has to be adjourned.
Of course, my lord, that's true.
So you want 3 weeks?
Yes, my lord.
All right.
To allow them enough time.
Give them 3 weeks then.
Yes, my lord.
What date? 3 weeks adjournment.
Your lordship, Wednesday the 3rd of October.
3rd of October.
Yes, my lord.
Case number 725.
Petition number 725. Adiza Pender and Co. 725. Adiza Pender and Co. Petitioners present.
Yes. Appearances. Present. Yes.
May it please me, Lord, and the honorable members of the commission, P.E. Ediale for the petitioners.
May it please my Lord, honorable members of the Commission. My name is Aisu Bado Mok. I appear for the Honorable Minister of Defense, the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Air Staff, the Chief of Naval Staff, and the Chief of Defense Staff. Yes? Any agreement yet?
Well, my lord, the counsel for the petitioners will say so.
Reduce into writing? Then
My Lord,
come up here and sign.
My Lord, we have a memorandum of agreement.
What?
We have a memorandum of settlement, my Lord. But taking the hints of my Lord as at the last date, my Lord has said that we will execute this document in chambers. So that is why we had not.
If both of you agree, they come up here and sign it.
Well, my Lord,
It will be televised.
we are subject to the direction of my Lord.
Appear on the TV.
Yeah.
Huh? They can sign it. So what to do to them, eh? Come on, take it. You go back. All right. They can go down there and sign them. All the parties and their council. It's only for signature. Only for signature. Yes.
I mean, are you satisfied with what? Ah. I mean, well, counsel, your clients are
Well,
saying,
my Lord, I crave the indulgence of the commission to allow us to take this matter in chambers. We'll be able to sort out issues.
all right, take it to chambers after
All right. Let's call the next case and then you go to chambers and explain. We stand this down.
As the commission pleases. Petition number 451. Chief Dr. Mrs. Sada S. Tamodu. 451. Chief Dr. Mrs. Sada S. Tamodu. Petitioner present, my lord.
Appearances, please.
May it please my Lord and members of the Honorable Commission. Stanley Chidozie Imo are my names. My Lord, I am appearing for the petitioners.
My Lord, honorable members of the Commission, I appear for the Honorable Commission. With me is Mr. Emmanuel Akaka. My name is Mrs. Chinwe Uwandu.
With the greatest respect, my Lord, and members of the Commission, my name is Mohammed Ademu, appearing for Kanan Amin Isa Kwantagora, retired. Appearing with me is Abdulaziz Abdul Malik, Esquire.
With due respect, my Lord, my name's Ofem I. Uket. With me is Mr. Okwaroha Chijoke, Esquire, for the Nigerian Police.
Now, what's the position here?
Your Lordship, my Lord, the Commission couldn't hear the petition before the short adjournment.